Good morning, students. Today we are going to learn new lesson sorting materials into groups. Let me start the lesson. Okay, you are in a department store with your parents. Your mother wants to pick up grocery and father wants to look at some paintings and you want some music DVDs. Now, three of you are in three different places in the same shop. Why? Because all the objects in the store are categorized in different section according to the items. Okay, such arrangement is convenient and leads to better management. In this lesson, we will learn in detail about the basis of classification of materials. Look around yourself. Can you see many things around you? Yes. When you look around in your class, you may find blackboard, chalk, desk, table, chair, fan, tube lights, racks, bags, books, lunch bags, etc. Right? Look around in your bedroom. You may find a bed, chair, table, cupboard, cloths, etc. In the kitchen, you may find utensils, gas stove, cylinder, microwave, food materials, water, milk, etc. What do you understand from all these observations? You can understand that there are many different things in the world. Some of these are living and some are non-living. All of these have different shapes, colors, uses and properties. These objects are made of material. What is meant by material? Material is any substance around you which can be used for making objects. These objects may be made of one or more than one kind of material. Take example from your classroom. See the window. The window is made of iron grill and the border of the window is made of aluminium frame and in the center it is full of glass. Right, around three materials are used in to make the window, isn't it? So, objects can be made of one or more than one kind of material. Understood now what is meant by material? Okay, in this lesson, we are going to learn about sorting of materials into groups. Why we need to sort out the materials into groups? Things and materials are kept or grouped together for our convenience. Grouping helps to locate any particular thing easily. That's why we are sorting the materials into groups. Have you seen how different things are arranged in a grocery shop or in any department store? Have you visited one kind of items? Example, soaps. If you want to buy soap, you can see the different varieties of soaps in one place. Okay, it is arranged in one particular place. Bathing soap or washing soap, like that it is categorized and it will be arranged in proper way, right? Similarly, pulses, biscuits, shampoo, chocolates, toothbrush, toothpaste, oil, these are all some examples, okay, of items arranged in separate shelves. If the materials are mixed together and not grouped properly means what happens? How difficult it would be for you to locate a soap or toothbrush from the mixed item. We can't take the needed material easily. Right? If it is mixed means it takes lot of time to search that particular item, isn't it? Can you remember how the books are arranged in our school library? They are arranged subject wise: English, Tamil, Maths, Science, Social, Computer, as well as class wise. And extra books such as story books and GK books are arranged in separate shelves, isn't it? They used to arrange the books in the alphabetical order of the name of the author. This helps the librarian and also the students, teachers to locate a particular book easily and quickly without wasting time. So, the process of sorting out and grouping things according to some basis is called classification. I'm going to explain how they classify the objects. First, classification of things can be done on the basis of similarities and dissimilarities. For example, plants and animals or living things. So it can be classified as living things and non-living things. Okay, then in the previous lesson, we learned fiber to fabric. There they classified into natural fibers and synthetic fibers. In some, the classification can be done on the basis of shapes. Like some objects will be in round shape, some in rectangular shape, some in cube shape. So depends upon the different shapes, cylindrical shapes. So depends upon the different shapes of an object, it can be categorized. Okay, in sometimes classification of things can be based on the basis of materials they are made of. For example, if you go to buy any dress materials, they classified as casual wear, formal wear, cotton dress, western type, like different classification we can see based on the materials. And if you go to any furniture shop or anywhere else like that, you can see wooden items in different side, plastic items will be in different side, tables will be on one side, chair on other side, cupboard items will be on one side, cot will be on one side. Okay, so based on the materials, okay, the objects are classified. Can you understand? In the next video, I am going to explain how they classify the objects based on the properties of materials. Understood, children? Okay. Listen, students. Okay, the last lesson I completed light, shadow and reflection, and I ask you to write the classwork. Some of you have written and sent email to me, but some still didn't write that lesson. Okay, I said no problem, but today you are going to write that lesson. Okay, I have given the content in this video itself. Okay, see the content and write that lesson, complete it and send mail to me. Okay, children? Take your science classwork note, 80 pages note. Okay, already we have completed 3 lessons in that. Okay, now write in the center. Lesson 11, light, shadow and reflection. We are going to write the definition. Use black stick pen to write the heading and blue to write the content. Okay, so now we are going to write the definitions. Light. First one is light. Use black stick pen to write the heading. Light is the source of energy which makes things visible. So this is the content. Use blue pen to write the content. Leave one line after that. So next, put star mark and write luminous object with black pen. Objects which have light of their own are called luminous objects. After that, leave one line. Write non-luminous objects. Non-luminous objects means objects which do not have light of their own are called non-luminous objects. Okay, and then fourth one, put star mark, use black pen to write the heading transparent objects. Objects that allow light to pass through them fully are called transparent object. After that, leave one line. Next, translucent object. Objects that allow light to pass through them partially are called translucent objects. Next, opaque objects. Objects that do not allow light to pass through them are called opaque objects. Okay, heading should be in black and the content should be in blue. See the video and write clearly. Next, about shadow. A dark shape produced when an object comes between a source of light and a surface. Okay, after that, reflection. The phenomenon of bouncing back of light from the surface of an object is called reflection. Okay, so definitions over. Now we are going to write the characteristics of shadow. Okay, already I have said in the video about the characteristics of shadow. See the video and write. I have given the answer here itself. Shadow forms when you block the path of light. That is first character of shadow. Next, shadow can be seen only on a screen. Example, ground, walls of the room, etc. And then shadows are always formed in the opposite direction to the source of light. And next, the outline of the shadow matches to the outline of the object. And next characteristics, the brighter the light, the darker the shadow. And then shadows are dark irrespective of the color of the light or the object. We cannot find any colors in shadow. The closer the source of light to an object, the larger the shadows. The farther the source of light from an object, the smaller the shadow. So these are all the characteristics of shadow, but here we'll write only the 5 characteristics of shadow. Okay, so here the lesson gets over, the classwork gets over. Okay, write it and send through mail. So now take book exercise page number 113. Okay, 113. First one, rearrange the boxes given below to make a sentence that helps us understand opaque objects. So some words are given. Okay, you need to arrange it in a correct way. Okay, so here the answer is opaque objects makes shadows. Okay, opaque objects makes shadows. Okay, I have given the answer in the video. Now the second question, classify the objects or materials given below as opaque, transparent or translucent, and luminous or non-luminous. This question you can try in any ruled paper. Here we are not having any space. Otherwise, you can write in your homework note. Okay, whenever you are free, you can do and see this. You can write and see. Divide into columns: opaque, transparent, translucent, luminous, non-luminous. Okay, 5 columns you should divide and write the object name first. Total 6 columns. Write the object name first and then opaque, transparent, translucent, luminous, non-luminous. Write the object's name. Air, water, piece of rock, like that many object names are given. So write everything. Okay, and write and put a tick mark in the column. If it is opaque, put a tick mark in opaque column. If it is transparent, put a tick mark in transparent column. Okay, like that you need to identify each and every item and put a tick mark respectively. Understood? Then third question, can you think of creating a shape that would give a circular shadow if held in one way and a rectangular shadow if held in another way? Yes, if we take a cylinder, okay, if you keep a cylinder in vertical position, you can get a shadow in rectangular shape. If you keep a cylinder in horizontal position, then you can get a shadow in circular shape. Understood, children? So the example, you can take a cylinder or any circular disc or something. Okay, if you keep a cylinder, then the vertical cylinder gives rectangular shadow. And if you keep in horizontal, then it gives circular shadow. Okay, fourth question. In a completely dark room, if you hold up a mirror in front of you, will you see a reflection of yourself in the mirror? Listen the question clearly. In a completely dark room, no. Your answer should be no. No. No image will be formed in dark room. Understood? In a completely dark room, no image will be formed because there is no light in the room. So no reflection of light takes place and no image will be formed. This is the answer. I have given the answer in the video. Only for second question I didn't give the answer because it's easy. You can do it by yourself. Okay. First, third and fourth question I have given the answer. You can write in these three questions in your homework note. Take homework note. Write the lesson heading. Okay. Lesson 11. Light, shadow, reflection. And write exercise 1. First question. Okay, write the question, write the answer. And second question, no need to write in the homework note. It's up to you. If you want to write, you can write. Otherwise, you can write in ruled paper for your understanding that question is. Then third one, I have given the answer in the video. And fourth one also, I have given the answer in the video. You can copy down the answer in the homework note, not in the classwork note. Understood? So for this lesson, book exercise, we are going to write in homework note, not in book, because there is no space in the book to write the answers. So let us write in the note itself. Understood? Clear, children? Okay. The next video, I'll continue the lesson what I have started now. Lesson 4, sorting materials into groups. Bye.